Okay. Here we go again. All right. I think you could hear me. You can hear me. Yep. Okay. Let's start. Welcome to a new Friday session. Okay. Okay, some peaceful music turned on, and let's go. We just almost started. Ran pretty hot in the first two hands. Okay, and this ace-10, I think we're pretty bottom of our calling range here, especially with the two limpers included. And with that stack size, like, because he's not forced to get it in via 3 streets as he's so short, the checking range on the flop is significantly stronger, so I think a check back is here necessarily. And typically limp call or, limp fold or open raising, I think boards here very fine. If we face an ESA, I definitely fold and figure out what kind of hands he's using for the ISO. Maybe making then a note. Ace 4 here. I want kind of protect on the other side. I think very small, or checking here is the way to go. I don't see any benefit in betting bigger. But as I said, checking I think completely fine too. Especially with the fallen club. Like, I would hate a raise in general, and that's an interesting turn. We don't really have to protect, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna check here. Literally 0 protection we need, so we control a little bit then the pot. I'm making a block bet so that they call here with some 3x and pairs. Like 8s, 6s, stuff like this. And this is a very easy fold. Full of full house combos. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. In this position on table 3 we want to limp this, as we have so less information about the further action. But we mostly can call if we would face an ISO. Okay. Jack 10 off. I'm more on the side of isolating this one, especially in the button, as it's relatively hard to realize our equity here in the limp pot with this hand type of that. Yeah, that's a crazy flop. Pretty dynamic to a beautiful turn. So he was snap calling. Looks like 10s, 9-10, maybe jacks. I don't know. I make it something like 60. Okay. Oh wow. Just the same hand. That's crazy. Interesting call on the flop, but also especially pre-flop. I think that's a very, very, very loose call. Okay, so made a note of that. I'm thinking about an ISO here if we generate enough fold equity. Yeah, I think, nah, I'm super faced up here. Like if I limp on the small blind and call, I'm so full of pairs. As like good suited connectors, which I would just ISO on my own. Bad ones I would just fold. Not sure how much he's aware of that, but I don't think we realize here pretty well. And ace-5 I maybe call, but needs a good argument, especially with these two guys here in the early position, that they can boss limp 3-bet quite easily. King is interesting. Yeah, I think they don't really have a king here anymore, and just an 8 will call here. That's it. So, do we produce 33% fold equity? I think yes. Yeah, looks super fishy. That small ISO. And ace-9 doesn't really realize his equity in my opinion. Yeah, he had ace-king. Alright, aces. Ah, okay. Super dry board. I think just making half that we also get calls from 8x. Okay. It could be worse. Yeah, super weird. Yeah, bottom left we have a beautiful hand. This ISO is extremely strong in this position, but we will not fold. But definitely not 3-bet, as we don't want to call or fold, so just call. Yeah. But when I try to define a range here, I would think like 10s plus, ace-jack plus. Yeah, and he had ace-jack suited. Not saying this is for everyone, like the fluctuation of the ranges depending on the position is like very high, but on average still super tight. Like king queen off would be super ugly there, which I would be okay-ish to fold that. I think that's a check raise here with a blocker for 2 pairs, and also looks relatively weak, the size from this position. And we have a two backdoors too. That's not so beautiful. I think gonna check. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the button was folding a top pair there with a weak kicker or like no backdoors. But he had... Okay, he had queen 5, so he was just betting a mid pair. Well, it's relatively typical. Yeah, my range looks super weak, but my hand is super weak too. So not gonna do a move here, but definitely a very potential spot to do traps. I think I'm gonna call here. I know the first 2 persons, which are kind of ultra weights, and we get such a good price. The deuces. Close. Close, so call. Alright, ace king. Nice. Gonna 3 for sure. Like this ISO is super loose, so I'll make it relatively small that it looks like a wee steal from our side that he's shoving ace x. Let's be careful of the stack to pot ratio here. So I think like every queen he can just play check shove, which is dangerous then with ace king. King, not clean, but Yeah, I think we have to call here. Is it ugly? He has 10s, 7s, queens, aces. Yeah, I think it's a fold. Super ugly, but what kind of value hands he's doing that, and the king is so clear in our range. And he had queens. Yeah. 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 I'm happy about the fold we found on the river. Yeah, very, very interesting that he's not shoving that on the on pre-flop. Also, this turn size. Yeah, okay, I can understand a little bit, but yeah, I think the pre-flop looks that he's more on the tight side when he's not shoving hands like this, as he's losing, I think, a lot of value against our good ace-x combinations, 10s, jacks especially. So someone which I think has a tendency to be more on the tight side. Which helps us in the future if we get in a close spot against him. Okay, but yeah, luckily we lost 60% of our, less of our stake than we would in general. Tens is an easy ESO call. Yeah, he's full of pairs, ace-x, da-da-da. Or king 7. King 7 off. And this is, I think, also was a note. I think that's a good example how different like each player is in this pool. And once we have identified these tendencies, like this is a tight guy, this is a very aggressive guy, that's so helpful and improving our win rate. I think that's a pot here. We block so many straight combinations with our hand and they are so capped. So I think they have a hard time here calling a pair or something like this. Yeah, and yeah, it looks strong if we do it against 5 persons. Looks maybe stronger than it is because we have so much information how capped they are related to the flop and turn action. So maybe that generates the extra fold equity we want. Here I think I just want to realize my equity and let others bluff their maybe straight draws or weaker flush draws. Okay. Against less players, I turn this into a bluff, but against 5 persons, I think the overall fold equity is a little bit too low. But to be honest, the 3 limpers are in relatively loose positions. So maybe it's still then even worth a bet. Like 5 players in this setup or setting, I think creates more fold equity than against 3 players in a very tight situation. Like first 3 limpers are UTG. Yeah, so think it's more a bet, therefore. Yeah, that's a value ISO against literally one limp, especially when he has no auto rebuy function. And here, so the probability that he's doing random stuff is significantly higher related to the snap call, I believe, and that he has less than 100 BB. So therefore, I think our major EV source here is against the random factor. So we just have to check shove. Okay, and now he wakes up with sixes. This is exactly what I mean. So these micro information may sometimes give us huge information. Beautiful. When a plan works out in poker, that's a great feeling. Here we're definitely gonna trap as he's so short. Alright, on the left the bomb pot. In heads up I would just check behind, but in three-way, like, we have to protect so much more equity. I think a small bet makes sense here. Okay. He had king 10 off, and the other guy, holy moly, had 9-6 off. Okay, and holy moly 2 on top left. Oh, that's tough. Okay, so we definitely lose the first board, but they would mostly bet. But for us, it's interesting, the jackpot board. So how often someone has here a 3? I timed out. Okay, this is also not a beautiful roll, but it slows down the action a bit. I really pray for a check here. I pray for it. Check flop, call, turn, this. Yeah, I think he always has a flush, and we are also always dead on this one. Oof, okay, wow. Wow. That I thought the river would be the worst card, but actually it was by far the best card which could... I mean, the 9 would be better. The 9 or 3 or king. But there was no king anymore possible. So yeah, but it really, really saved us. As I think I would always call, yeah, on literally any river, as long as it's not a diamond. And if you would make it smaller, then I would still call it. After we get such a too good price, I think. Wow, that was lucky. The 9-4 guy wins. Oh my god. I unfortunately missed the preflop action on top right, how he ended up here in a spot with 9-4 suited. Definitely gonna ISO here. We don't really realize good equity out of position against 3 persons with deuces. And we produce a ton of fault equity. We should create a ton of fault equity, not today. But this is a good board to bluff. Like he's folding like 9-10 off, for example, which is in his range. Okay, yeah, he had king 9. But understandable, his call. Definitely. And he is super short, so we're just gonna limp and call against an ISO. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really look strong, especially we block reasonable hands, but we unfortunately have too low equity to call here. But I would defend here pretty loose, like ace high and better. Yeah. Yeah, he had king 5 off. It was even good, but yeah, he's more on the aggressive side. This guy. Ooh, and bottom left. Let's see, could be a huge one. Against 3 people, it's a good board to bluff, but I don't think we should go for it against 3 people. That's a potential action turn. It's pretty ugly, the stack sizes here. Please just check button. Of course not. With the information we have from him, I think it's less likely that he has now... it's more likely he has now a bluff. Definitely gonna call, therefore. Okay, the 8 is really, really bad, as it connects to his bluffs. Yeah, that's sad. I would call here probably any blank, but now Queen Jack is possible too, and sometimes he's trapping 5s and 9x. Okay. This is the squeeze. What did he had? Okay, I don't get the information. What happened there? Oh my god, he had also ace-king offsuit. Why he's jamming that? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so random, but... Yeah, he's just super, super aggressive. He probably just wanted to bluff it, and... Yeah, that's it. Wow. Crazy. Okay, definitely making a few notes on this guy. One time a diamond on the river, or king or ace, but okay. But I think these scenarios are one of the ones we really, really want to create, where one player is super aggressive, but he believes that we does not know that he's aggressive. So therefore this creates a huge asymmetry in the information and gives our exploit plan a huge edge. And it's really not so good, but the price is too insane to fold. Yeah, I'm not gonna slowing down the ISO frequency against this guy a little bit. Wow, that's a tough one. He shouldn't have aces, but yeah, I'm gonna fold here. It's so hard here too. Like, he's uncapped, the first raiser, the 3-bet guy is... wow, okay. Okay, that's crazy. That's completely crazy. Very, very... I mean, against this size, I can understand the 3-bet a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Okay, against this guy, especially with this kind of name, just gonna bet, bet, bet. But I think against anyone I would just play here the hand to pick a pretty easy to play. The 3 and heart. Gonna check and calling if it's not a heart. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Super. Wo ist er denn? Ja, Tyson. Hey. And with that remaining stack size, I'm not gonna fold, especially not against the donk. Should be weaker than his check call range. Okay, but it's exactly the other way around. Tyson. Hey. Komm. Was ist Tyson? Ja, komm. Ja, komm. Bisschen einfach nur Aufmerksamkeit spotten, ha? Yeah, I think we can bluff this one here. Tyson, jetzt hör mal auf, Bro. Huh? Not the best flop I saw so far. Gonna make a small check 1BB bet to figure out what's going on. If he has here a value range, I believe that he's trying to protect that, so I really like the 1BB call. So that's then now very often ace jack, ace queen, king queen, almost just nothing. Okay. But I give him credit if he shoves that. Especially against the second barrel. So was he trapping? No, he wasn't. I was correct, but then... that's so weird. He was shoving ace queen off. Maybe I should just stuck to my feeling, or to my, yeah. That's so strange. Shoving their ace queen off. It was out of my mind, to be honest. So wild. Just believe, connect to the gut feeling, bro. Okay, I almost timed out the aces. I just did a pot. I should stuck to it. Ooh, that could get dirty. Okay, no jack or king, please. Definitely gonna continue betting here against ace jack, ace 10 mainly. See, he has ace. Does he has ace king? Not really. Okay, I can't fold. I'm only beaten against ace queen, right? Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's insane. Nice. Yeah, that was a good river. I'm still at this ace king versus ace queen hand. Yeah, we can't fold here, especially against a donk. He has also king 2 suited, for example. I like the tank. Definitely like the tank. 7x? What? Bro. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, wild. What is going on here? Got the Friday vibes. And maybe here we go again. Tyson. Ja, komm mal her. Tyson. I think we want to turn this into a bluff with the ace and dame. He is super nitty, unfortunately. He's folding everything if it's not a... Yeah, fuck, I'm giving it up. I just saw a note from him that... Wow, okay. Okay. Yeah, we would definitely get a fold from that, but I was believing that he would snap fold this on the turn too. Because I have 3 notes on this person. And all of them is that he's super nitty, overfolding, da 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 da. So therefore, after he's calling the turn, he has significantly more flushes. Yeah, but was definitely believing he was folding this type of hand on the turn. Okay. For this price, gonna call. This is a super aggressive guy too. Okay. Check. He has nothing. I mean, I have to shove or fold, but with queen high and like creating a 400 BB pot, it was even 500. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's snapping me off with ace high then too. Yeah, he just had again completely nothing. I mean, he had king 5, so he was actually beating us. I think this is also a tendency he has. Once his opponent is capped, he starts going crazy. So that's maybe a nice plan against him, creating a capped range and just calling them looser. He is, yes, DS. Okay, we just need a little bit value or some showdown value against him, and then we go for it. What is that? A double gutter? Okay, and a backdoor flush, I think good enough to call. No shove. Yeah, he can't shove. He can shove, but... Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. We take a heart. That's a dirty one, but... It doesn't really make sense. I'm gonna bluff this. Yeah. It looked so much like a like a bet fold there. So happy we got him. What did he had, by the way? Jack 8. Yeah, makes super sense. His top pair and then just making a block bet that he's not getting bluffed. Okay. Digga. Note on him plus a blue label indicates a loose either range. We have a good hand. Low probability we will improve, so I think it's fine to play it there for bet fold. And we produce fold equity against ace jack, ace queen, ace 10 if it's not a flush draw. On the 10 and diamond, definitely gonna check back here. Yeah. I think that's a shove if he checks. Nice. Like when he checks, he has so unlikely some like a set or two pair as he wants to get a call from a weaker showdown value hand. He had sixes. So actually a call would... Okay, that's... Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. That's insane. 2-bet... In a 2-bet scenario... that was actually a 3-bet scenario. Huge calling station. But maybe this is also pretty moody. Because he has no auto rebuy function on. He's relatively short. He lost quite a lot. So maybe right now he just wants to get it back, getting more greedy, and which will influence his calling range. Yeah, so I will definitely make a note of potential moodiness when I define him as a calling station. And 3 bets. Just can't call. It's very strong when he's doing that against 6 persons. Yeah. Okay. Take it, sir. Take it. When you want it so bad. We wait for aces. There we go. Okay, Mr. Big Blind, please be involved. I call. Let's go. So many potential limb shoves here still with the shorties. Come on. Aua! Tyson, Alter. Okay, beautiful flop. I think I will make a small raise. Yeah. Call is, I think, completely fine too, or a small raise. He's never folding now 7s plus, for example. But I feel like an idiot if he has completely nothing. I was excluding this a little bit because he was isolating against 4 persons. I thought he's a little bit stronger. Yeah, okay, he had completely nothing. Yeah, this is the thing, like, against all the mid pairs then we lose a ton of value, I believe. If we call. But if he's loose enough, like all the random suited connectors he could have, or even worse hands, we lose a ton of value when we check raise. So I think it really depends if we want to check raise or check call on the stack size and how loose his range is. Pre-flop rise. I'm gonna call King Jack Diamond here. Beautiful hand to play in position. Okay, goodbye. With potential callers here, I'm gonna call the fourth, but otherwise I wouldn't. Okay, easy fold. Easy fold. The 10 is interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bluff this with all the straight blockers. Yeah, it's beautiful. 8-9, king queen we block. And we have a good position. Okay. Gonna do a break for now. What I think was a pretty good session. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it was okay. I thought it would be a little bit better, but it's okay. 1.5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. 1.7 million roundabout, which is 1.5k. So that's definitely good. Alright, let's play these two. Okay, we don't. Alright, that's it for the session. Yeah, about 1.5 up. Alright, thank you. And if you want to see more, check out our website if you want, or we have some other videos on our channel. So, good luck at the grind and have a beautiful weekend. Bye bye.